So what we're going to do today is have a look at how we deal with wild game like this fox cub that we've got here. Now this is pretty minging, to be honest, because it was found lying in the road. It's been 28 degrees today, and the sun behind, and then spent most of the day in the back of the car. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna gut the fox, we're gonna skin it, and we're gonna protect the meat from any more flies that have been swarming all over it. We've just been up at Noyath Reservoir, and there must have been about 1 million blue bottles. So you can see them all coming on here. So like we've said before, the first essential for survival, bushcraft, anything like that is having a decent knife, and you don't need one of these great big commando daggers. You know, as we know, 2 to 3.5 inch blade is perfectly sufficient for all sort of game jobs. You can see here by the way that the fur's just coming off, it's just been shaved off, so it's already pretty ripe. Now move. Oh, fuck's sake. That's fucking nasty, man. That is nasty.
You can take the first bite, yeah?
Right, ain't gonna eat it raw.
Oh man, that doesn't smell good.
You enjoying this you enjoying the smell of that, are you, Graham? Okay, we're in. So the first thing that we're going to see in here is all that green shit there. The guts are ruptured, yeah? So any toxins inside it, which are many, including tapeworm that cause all sorts of diseases, right, have now contaminated the meat. So we're going to give it a miss. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, we got as far as saying that we didn't like that because it was going to poison it, but the National Trust book apparently says it's just going to make it taste unpleasant. So we can deal with that. So what we need to do is now get rid of these guts because we just don't want them. Okay, at this stage there's nothing really left for it but to get your hand right inside and start pulling things out. Right, I've got here the main tube. There you go. You can see, like we said earlier, the actual shit, yeah, coming out there. There's the kidneys. Take them out, we don't want these. The thing we do notice though is that they look nice and healthy. I'm probably going to get so many fucking diseases. Yeah, no, we're going to cook it good, and that's not going to create us any problem. What we're going to do here quickly is I'm just going to cut away this whole flap of skin with all the shit on, because I certainly don't want to eat it, and I'm sure no one else does either. Right, so now we're on to the next part of the job, which is skinning it. Quite simply, we can do this pretty much with our fingers, quite a lot of the job, yeah, like you would for a rabbit. Yeah, it's not quite as easy as some rabbit skin, yeah, but you can. You know, you need to be quite vigorous with this stuff. There's no point pussyfooting around. You know, get your fingers in there, separate the, you know, the tissue that's in between the skin and the fur and the meat. You can see here that, you know, there's precious little meat around the rib cage on one of these things, especially one so small. Right, but we can separate this down here. Okay, so working down over the legs, yeah, over the drumsticks. This is going to be, you know, if there's any eating on it, this is where it's going to be. And although we want to be, you know, vigorous enough to remove the skin off the meat, we don't want to be so sort of boisterous that we end up wrecking the only bit of good meat on the beast.
A lot of flies there.
A lot of flies, yeah. A lot of flies.
Flies, eggs there, all over the meat. So I need a nice wash.
Well, you've travelled all over the world, Graham.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've had that many flies in half the restaurants you've probably eaten in.
Yeah.
I know certainly, you know, when I've been travelling at places like Nepal and stuff. Ah, you fucker! No, that wasn't fucking good. That really fucking wasn't good.
Straight in the eye.
Straight in the fucking eye.
Yeah, I remember walking down the back streets of Lahore, past an area where all the butcher's shops were, and it was just carcasses hanging on the rail outside the shop, covered in flies.
Covered in them, yeah?
Yeah.
Like this, right?
Yeah.
See any foxes down there?
No.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, so how are we getting on? You know, you can see the whole thing is pretty damn filthy. You know, the thing that I should stress really is that if you're going to do this, right, it's entirely at your own risk. You can see, you know, picking stuff up off the road, right, you could catch all sorts. Yeah, it should be okay. You know, as far as I know, I haven't been made ill by doing it, as long as you cook it properly, keep hygiene, make sure you wash your own hands afterwards, and obviously try to avoid the sort of incident that you just saw, getting this sort of stuff splattered in your eyes. But really, as you can see, this is about as far away from the supermarket as it's possible to get. So how is it?
My first dinner of roasted fox is actually pretty good. Like chicken, really. Looks like it, tastes like it.
Looking good.
With a ever so slightly strange, taste, which reminds me a little bit of piles of shit and flies earlier on.